Hey everybody, it's Frankie-Lou. I'm coming to you today from the Grow Together homestead. I'm creating something today that's an extremely popular ingredient for all of our cooking. And now that it's becoming, there's a bit of a demand for some of the sweets, I'm having to make more of it. And that is our homemade vanilla extract. I had to go out and buy a 750 ml bottle of brandy, which isn't cheap. And I do like to use brandy. Some folks I know do like to use vodka or rum. I find that brandy has that beautiful caramelly sort of taste and some really nice notes that I really enjoy along with vanilla, more than just the straight solid vodka or the overpowering that I feel flavor of the rum. Get a better extraction of all those wonderful flavors with a 40% or higher alcohol. I'm using brandy, as I said today, and I've tried a few other things. This is my go-to. Next, of course, you need your vanilla. I have purchased here 10 beans and they cost me almost $50. This is almost as expensive, but I also find that the flavor of this is far, far superior, which is why we use it. Also, when you're buying your beans, make sure that you're getting nice squishy beans. See how this is soft and squishy, and you can really smell the vanilla off of it. It's even coming off of my fingers. That's because it's full of that resiny oil, which is where all that flavor is. If you get your vanilla beans and they're hard and they're snappy, you're not going to get as nice an extraction. So try to see if you can get yourself some good squishy beans. These are Tahitian, which are even the most expensive beans that I can buy. Vanilla beans are extremely expensive because it is difficult and very onerous to grow it, and you can really only do it in a few different areas of the world. And there's this whole crazy pollination process that only can be done in one day. So I know it's an expensive product, but for myself, I really don't think my baking would be anywhere near as nice without it. Also, the other thing that we're going to make today as a side product is some vanilla sugar. I used to make these at the same time, but lately I've been doing a process where I make the vanilla first, and then once I have used that vanilla, I strain out the beans. And these are some beans that I used in a previous batch vanilla, and I put that in my vanilla sugar. I find that doing it that way now instead, where I create vanilla extract first, strain out the beans, and then make the sugar from the previous vanilla extract beans in my vanilla sugar. And then I get a product and I'm getting a more flavorful extract, and the sugar's still nice as well. So first, let's start with vanilla extract. That's something that I know that more people are interested in doing. To get your nice squishy beans. I'm going to use 10 today. 10 vanilla beans that are nice and soft and squishy in a 750 ml bottle of brandy makes for me what I find to be a perfect extract. The other ingredient that I can't show you today is thyme. You do want to give this some time. I usually want to let my vanilla extract go for at least a month or two, and under best case scenario, 6 months before I use it. Because the longer you can let it in there, giving it a shake every once in a while, the better your product's going to be. Now, in terms of tools that you're going to want to use, you want a really sharp knife. And you also want a dull knife with a nice flat back, because what we're going to do is we're going to cut these beans in half, and then we're going to scrape out the inside. We're not going to throw away the exterior of the bean pod. A lot of folks think you can only use the seed pods from inside, but the bean itself is edible as well. There's actually lots of flavor inside that bean pod as well, so we want to include that in our extract as well. So I'm going to turn the camera down so you can see what I'm doing here. We'll do one pod at a time. You want to cut that bean in half. Then you are going to scrape, using your duller knife, scrape off all that lovely beanie resin. Put that over to the side here. I'm going to cut off the other, scrape away the other part here as well. And I like to cut this up as well so it fits more nicely in the bottle. Okay, so let's show you this again. All right, we're back and it smells amazing in here. We can see that we have 10 beans worth of the actual bean pods cut into 6 pieces each, and then all this lovely resiny little bits of wonderful vanilla bean seeds. So this is the super easy part. You're going to want to open up your brandy. I forgot that you have to pour a little bit of that brandy off, oops, to start, to make room for all those wonderful beans. I find it's easiest to get, just start popping those little seed pods in there. You don't want to lose a single one. You don't want to lose a little bit of this flavor. It's okay if it's going to be messy because we're going to be shaking this. All right, you got the beans in. And next I'm going to make sure that I scrape every little bit of the actual bean seeds in there as well. They're tiny and beautiful and black. And that's where when you buy like something that they call it French, like for instance, French vanilla ice cream, all those little wonderful black dots in there, that's where all that flavor is coming from. That's the vanilla beans seeds in there. Orchid seeds are tiny, and this does come from an orchid. All right, every little ounce of goodness. You want to leave a little space at the top so that you do have room for shaking. So put the lid on and give it a good shake. You want to do that, as I said, about once a day for the first week. You can see there's lots of yumminess floating around in there. That's fine. Some people like to strain their vanilla as soon as they feel that it's ready. I personally do like to get those nice little tiny black dots in my vanilla extract, because then people know they are actually having true vanilla, because they've got those distinctive tiny little black specks that make it vanilla. Okay, so what we're going to do, as I said, we're going to shake this once a day for about a week, and then we're going to pop it in a dark cover, shake it every once in a while as we remember. The longer you can leave it, the better. A month or two is probably minimal. If you can leave it up for 6 months, that's great before using it. And so that's how you make vanilla extract. If you want to continue, I can quickly show you, because it just takes a minute to then this is all the leftovers. These are the leftover soaked beans from the previous batch of vanilla that I have finished with. Very simple. I'm going to take those leftover this 10, because I did use 10 for the last. I've extracted them from the bottle. I'm just going to stick them in a nice big mason jar here. Whoop, lost a few. Got to make sure they all get in there. And there's still some of those lovely little distinctive black bits attached to it. I now also have 1 kilogram of organic sugar. I like the Demerara grade. I know some people really like a fine powdery sugar, and if that's what you like, then use that. But what I like to do is I like the way that this stays crystallized. And that's because of the use that I have for it. I use my vanilla sugar on top of coffees as a garnish, so I like to see a nice little sort of crunchy, and taste a little nice little crunchy bit of vanilla. Or on like sugar cookies, I would use this sugar, and I like to see the crystals. So I don't like a powdered one. So I've got a pound of organic cane sugar here. I'm gonna put that in. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a good lid on that. We want a lot of room. I put it in a jar that's only 2/3 full, because we're going to want to shake this a lot. Now you could do an instant one and just pulse this right away, but I do find it gets better flavor if I let this sort of seep in there for a month or two. Then what I would do is I'm going to shake this once a day for the next week, and then every couple of weeks or so over the next month or two. And then what I'll do is I'll strain all these wonderful little bits out, and I'll pulse those in my Ninja so that they're super, super fine, and then place it all back in here. As I said before, the vanilla bean itself is edible, so I'm basically making sure I'm getting the most use out of these lovely beans, because they are pricey and you want to make sure you get most of it. Okay, so we've started the process of 2 products today. I hope you will try both because it really does add that extra little special touch. Once you start making your own vanilla extract, you will never buy it again because it does take a little work, but it just tastes so much better. And this vanilla sugar, once you start using that, I hope that you'll see what a wonderful little added touch it can add to your goodies as well. I have it every day on my coffees. I'm out, actually, so that's one of the other main reasons we wanted to start this today, because I am almost out of my vanilla sugar and I miss it on my coffee. I hope that was helpful. I hope you'll give it a try. I hope you will continue to ask questions so I can create some more content that you want to see. There's lots. Winter sowing season is right around the corner, so there's going to be lots of that coming up on the channel. And as always, I hope you'll take this chance to grow together today. Have a good one.